Patellofemoral syndrome, otherwise known as runner's knee, is when you get anterior knee pain, so pain around the front, around where the kneecap sits. It tends to be when irritation occurs underneath the patella, so the cartilage that sits between your patella and your femur starts to inflame. Normally because the patella isn't quite sat in the right position, so it doesn't quite sit in that tracheal groove where it should do. For these rehabilitation exercises, we're going to need a few pieces of equipment. So I'm going to be using a wobble cushion. They're really, really cheap to buy, really good bits of kit, probably worthwhile investing. If you haven't got one, you can use something like standing on your mattress or standing on a few towels loaded up. Works the same, anything that's slightly unstable. I'm also going to be using a foam roller, or you can use some rolled up towels, will have the same effect. Anything just to get your knee in flexion, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. And I'm also going to be using a little ledge like this. And again, if you're doing this at home, you can use the bottom step of your stairs. It's absolutely perfect. So the first exercise we're going to do is we're just going to stand up onto the ledge. So in this example, it's going to be my right knee that is the problem knee. So I'm going to stand up onto the ledge, and then nice and slow and controlled, I'm just going to slowly start to bend the knee, and you can see it moving around, so that's fine. That's just how it's working. All the muscles around it are working quite hard. I'm going to go all the way down as far as I can. If you do start to feel a pain, stop, take the weight off, put your left leg down, and then come back up. To do that, you want to go up with your right leg, so you don't want to be doing that on your right leg. And then again, drop back down just to the point where you start to feel the pain. Try and keep your knee as stable as you can, and if you look down, it should create a straight line. So your knee should be straight over your feet, so you don't want it bending in like that. So look over your foot, and it should go straight down over your toes. And then come back up and repeat that movement. Again, bottom step of the stairs is perfect for this if you're doing it at home. To do that, you can also use the banisters to take a bit of weight off your knee initially if you're struggling or if that is too painful. Okay, the second exercise is where the wobble cushion comes in. So all you're going to do, again, using my right leg, to start with, place your foot bang in the middle of the wobble cushion, and the first movement is going to be as simple as standing on the wobble cushion. And again, you can see my knee and my ankle and my hip are having to work quite hard to do this. Every time my knee wobbles, all of the muscles around the knee, so all four of the quads and everything in my glutes are working quite hard. You can physically feel the muscle working to do that. The better you become at it, the more stable you are. If you struggle to start with, just stare at something in front of you, and you'll start to fatigue in the hip and the knee quite quickly. Once you feel you're quite stable and strong in that position, similar to what we were just doing, you can then start to squat down, and again, keep that knee over the toes and back up. That's quite fatiguing on the leg, so do 1 rep, come off, rest, and go again. The more you do that, the more you can start progress into sort of 3, 4, 5 reps. The further you'll be able to go into the squat as well. The next exercise, and I'm going to swap legs on this one just for the purpose of the camera. So I'm going to use my left leg here, and I'm going to put the foam roller just underneath my leg. If you have towels, you can roll some towels up. All you want is a little bit of flexion at your knee. And then in the seated position, all you want to do is just extend your leg and really tense and lock your knee out. And then relax back down. Initially, you're doing it with your foot facing straight up towards the ceiling, so you work in the middle part of your quad. So rectus kicking in mostly there. And then you want to roll your leg out. So it's the outside of your knee that's on the foam roller, and your foot and your toes are pointing out to the side. And then from there, you want to contract up again. This time, you'll feel that a lot more on your vastus medialis, which is the muscle on the inside of your leg. And then relax back down. Twist your knee in, so this time your toe is pointing towards your opposite leg, and exactly the same movement, just straighten your leg, and then from there, you'll feel that on your vastus lateralis, so the muscle on the outside of the knee. The purpose of doing this is to address muscle balances within the quad. So normally with runner's knee, the issue comes in that one of your quads is pulling a little bit too hard, or one is a little bit too weak. So all we're trying to do here is just to balance those up. So 1 in the middle, 1 on the outside, 1 on the inside. Okay, and repeat 5 of those on each, and really make sure you're squeezing your muscle at the top. You might find that you're a little bit stronger doing the outside or the inside or the middle one compared to each, and that's a good way of finding muscle imbalances. The final movement we're going to do for this, and again I'm going to turn back to my right leg for this. I'm going to have to move the dog, which you won't like. I'm going to lie onto my side. I'm going to go into a sort of a side plank, but with my hip down. Off the microphone, and then I'm going to go into a quad stretch. If you find that this is too painful on your knee, you can use your foam roller just to tuck that in behind your knee. If you're okay doing it with full flexion, then that's great. And then from there, I want to pull my leg back round, and as I do that, I feel the stretch move up my quad a little bit more. From there, I then want to wrap my left leg up and over, and this is where I can drop my body down and then pull that down. So I'm still stretching the quad, but I'm also stretching my TFL muscle as well. And the further down I can push with my left leg, the better. And then again, the lower my upper body is, the more I get a stretch over my hip. And then relax off. If you do get knee pain doing that, you can put a foam roller behind, and your knee won't be able to stretch as far around it as that. So what you can do is get a towel, wrap a towel around your ankle, and then just pull your leg out round, and it'll look more like that. And then again, same, get your leg up and over. Okay. Icing is also really good for runner's knee because it's inflammation under the kneecap. If you can get some ice on it straight after a run, will definitely take the pain away as well. Hope you found that video helpful. Let us know if you've got any questions, and yeah, hopefully that helps.